It is week 13 on iRacing, which means it is release week. All the new content for the next season is released on iRacing, and they cooked this season. Not only do we have the Porsche LMDH, the Acura LMDH, the 296 Ferrari, a new 87 NASCAR, Zandvoort, Ledenen, and a new dirt oval, but the surprise, the cherry on the cake, the icing on the top is the Super Formula 23. Now, what is a Super Formula? A Super Formula is the Japanese top level of open wheel racing, powered by a 6-speed 2-litre inline 4, producing a whopping 570 horsepower. Weighing 600 kilograms, so a good 200 kilograms lighter than an F1 car, as well as being smaller and nowhere near as wide. This thing is an absolute track monster. It has traction control, which makes it a bit more forgivable, especially in the low-speed corners, but nonetheless an absolute beast to drive on track. Now, I could stand here, I could sit here and, run through all this car, but I think the best way is simply to show you. And with the AI getting a small little update with this season, I thought I would go for a quick 5-lap AI race around one of the best circuits to showcase exactly how good this car is, Suzuka. So we are going to jump on in, and I'll see you guys on the track. Alrighty, here we are on the grid in our Super Formula. This is going to be a fun race. This car sounds so good for a little 4-cylinder. The lights are on. We've got to try and get a good launch here. And it is lights out and away we go. Drop that clutch nicely. Get gradually on the power. This thing has a lot of torque and a lot of power. It makes it very easy to spin the wheels up. And we have got a very nice run into the first corner. We've got to just try and find a gap to slot into as we get punted off to the side there. Hopefully that doesn't give us too much damage. We'll find out as we go up the S's. Tyres are cold, brakes are cold. This is going to be a struggle as we go around the outside of John there. And now we're sitting in the dirty air of Mr. John West, iRacing employee, with Nimcross ahead of him. So make sure to be on our best behaviour here. A little bit of oversteer coming over the crest and now down towards Degner 1. Probably my favourite corner on the circuit. Just feed it next to that curb. You cannot attack the curb. This car is low. This car is stiff. It will bite you if you're too aggressive on the curbs, but it can handle the rest of them not too badly. Now up towards the hairpin. Try a wide entry. Oh, too much of a wide entry. There's no grip on the outside there whatsoever. That's going to leave us vulnerable to John on the left. But we managed to take the inside line, but he's going to slot in behind us a spoon. I thought he might think about making a move. The sense of speed, the way this car just absolutely picks up speed. This car sits between IndyCar and F1 in terms of lap time pace, but it just feels so much better to drive. The lighter weight, the smaller tyres just makes this thing agile. It's nimble. It turns on an absolute dime. It has so much grip in the high-speed corners, and not to mention the traction control, which is subtle. It's helpful. It's there, but it doesn't. You don't want to use it. It's only there to help you if you're going to have a really big moment. Until then, you don't really notice it. And that is the first lap complete. Now we have a run from John behind, so I'm going to activate the overtake system. Yes, this thing has extra power. Now, unlike F1 or anything like that, or hybrid system, it is simply provides more boost from that turbocharger to give you an extra boost of power. Now, you have 200 seconds of it to use during the race. Now, it doesn't matter what length race or anything, you still have 200 seconds, which you can use whenever you like. Unlike DRS, unlike hybrid systems, you can use it whenever you like, as much as you like within those 200 seconds. And it can stay on. Not a push it's a push to press, so it's not a push to hold. You could turn it on for a whole lap. You could turn it off. But when you do deactivate it, like I'm going to now, there is a 100-second cooldown. This is cooldown, sorry. This is referred to as retime, where you can see that little bar on the left. It takes 100 seconds before you can reuse it again. And you could also see this information on the roll hoop of other cars. When it is flashing green, that means that the car behind you is deploying their overtake system, as you can see in the mirrors. The moment is solid green, which means they have it available. And now it's flashing green, which means he's activating it. And you can see the run that he's going to get. He's going to think about the move up the inside into 130R. We are going to make our car as wide as possible. We're going to have to give him the space. We probably could have defended that. He's going to go up the inside. We're going to take flat around the outside. Oh, he thinks better of it. We do tick up the off track, but it doesn't matter. And now it is going to keep it flashing. I'm staring in the mirrors, looking at his overtake system there. And we are about halfway through being able to reactivate it. On to lap 3 we go. John West and Nim are absolutely storming ahead of us, which I think this means going to be defending. Oh, just the speed you can carry into the first corner. The brake pedal is so nice in this car. It's so linear. It's so progressive. You can really hammer it like you would, like you really want to. Get aggressive on the brake pedal and then trail it off as you come into the corner. But you can just feel how much fun this car is. The dirty air is there, but it's not too horrific. We were almost able to reactivate our overtake system. Or you have got to watch out for those curbs, though. This car is low. This car is stiff. It will definitely bite you. Really just trying to get used to understanding how much this car drives. While it is grippy, it does not quite have that peak downforce of a modern Formula 1 car. So you do have to watch out. Not particularly here, but at tracks where you would conventionally drive an F1 car, it can be a bit unsettling to go into a corner. It's not quite flat. This guy's an absolute blast around most high downforce circuits, but I had to bring it to Suzuka. I absolutely love this circuit. Front tyres scrubbing. Of course, single compounds of tyres, so the races are going to be about half an hour to 40 minutes in length for the official series. No pit stops required. Oh, he's going to think about the move, but we managed to defend it. That's going to allow John back past behind. I really need to understand how the brakes work on this car. I think we're going to get about halfway through this lap and then use the rest of our overtake for the rest of the race. You can see it flashing behind. He's going to make the move here. He's got the run. He's got the power. Come on, little Super Formula. He's going to send it around the outside. I think we're going to have to concede that position. But he's going to be surely running out of overtake system soon, which means we can come back at him towards the end of the race as long as we can keep with him on this lap. Now we get a feel for how the car is in the dirty air. It's certainly a bit more understeery, a bit less grippy. It's a bit floaty, but it's such a blast to drive this car. I am going to be driving a hell of a lot of this thing in the upcoming seasons. Through Degner 1, better line. Degner 2, third gear, take it. Use the camber on the inside, get a very nice exit. We are tucked up in the slipstream now, coming up towards the hairpin. Going to just try and focus on the exit here, which we do not get a nice one. Go a bit too deep. Struggling to find the grip in the hairpin there. But now we have a good, what? How long have we got left on the overtake system? Unfortunately, I don't think it displays on the steering wheel, which means you have to look on the black box as we go way too high into spoon. Car dancing around. Oh, that curb. That's brutal. We're going to be vulnerable here on the exit as we get a big kick of oversteer for good measure. We're going to tuck to the inside and try and defend this. Right, overtake left, 156 seconds. Don't think we need to defend this here. That is good. And now you can just hear the car revving out all the way to the top of the rev range. 293 kilometers an hour, hard on the brakes. For the hairpin onto the last lap. And we are going to have actually quite a lot of overtake over. We're going to have some left. We need to get used to using more and more of that, but we've got to defend this against Sean. New fastest lap 39. That is still way too slow, but right now my pace isn't important. I'm just out here having the time of my life. This car is an absolute beast to drive. I absolutely love it. iRacing, you have cooked this season. What with the GTPs, what with Zandvoort, which is probably one of the prettiest tracks there is on iRacing right now, outside of maybe Sebring and Road Atlanta. But you've just got to find the grip in this car. This thing, like most high downforce Formula cars, it's easy to drive, but it's hard to drive right at the limit. You've got to slide it. You can slide this thing. You've got to use the power just to get a little bit of rotation. You can kind of slip it out of corners, which makes it just so much more infinitely fun than a right modern F1 car, especially the W13. It's just fun. It's just intuitive. It's just a great car to drive. It sounds awesome. It looks amazing. And the calendar looks absolutely spectacular. Of course, all the Japanese tracks. Unfortunately, we don't have Sugo or Topolis, I think it's called, the other track that they used to race at. But we have Fuji, we have Suzuka, we have Okayama, and we have Motegi on iRacing already. And while I would love to have the other two, hopefully we can get them down to the chicane for the final time. We are going to be able to defend against Sean. Unfortunately, we lost the position to John. I say that, we go way too deep. We weren't efficient with the overtake system. That's something we got to learn. But we are across the line, and we finished 8th, which is not bad. We started 12th. But man, this car is so much fun. This thing is an absolute weapon. I need to really understand this thing, because I've been wanting a good open wheeler in iRacing for a while. Of course, F4, F3, it's a bit of a punt fest. And the Formula Renault, while it is fun, the tyre model just makes it simply undrivable. But this thing is absolutely perfect in every single way. It's fun, it's light, it's nimble, it's grippy in the high speed. It sounds great. The racing in it is absolutely brilliant. Oh. The overtake system adds an element of strategy. Of course, I wish that the official races did have pit stops. But, alas, this thing, yeah. Absolute weapon. Thank you very much for watching. If you have enjoyed this video, please consider hitting that like button. Do subscribe if you want to as well. Go follow me on Twitch, where you're probably going to be finding me race this car live as much as I possibly can, alongside, of course, all the other new content, GTPs, and all the other stuff that I like to do regularly. Until then, have an awesome rest of your day. I'm going to probably carry on just driving this thing and not edit the video anytime soon. But, yeah, see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.